Of West Ham's history and part of the club.
Yeah, totally, man. And you're right. And obviously,
consider the inconsistency in team selection still.
My name's Jake, not Jane. Has got school. Actually, Jane.
You could pass for a Jane.
Actually, I haven't.
You could pass for a Jane.
I'm off.
Remember, we're all doing that in front of him. We're all buying, and he was out.
West Ham United got past Rapid Vienna in our second group stage game of the Europa League. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I hope you are all well. It's the Matchday Racing Show here for the game. West Ham 2, Rapid Vienna 0. Sorry, Matt, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah. Not too bad. Haven't done the rating show for a week or so, but I'm back. I'm here. Don't panic. Yes, I know all of you people, cheap seats at the back, missed me. I know you did. But Matt, shall we get started?
Let's get into it.
Let's start with our goalkeeper, not Fabianski. It was Alphonse Areola.
I've given him 7.
Yeah.
But in reality, he's had 2 games, he hasn't conceded a goal. So I'm like, you know what, we've got to give him a decent enough rating. Mm-hmm. But you could have put a deck chair in goal yesterday. I don't think he actually really made a save, did he? Like, that was actually going to trouble, they were going to score. Like, you know, he did what he had to do. His distribution on the whole was a lot better. I think he had one shanked clearance in the second half where he top spinned it. He didn't really go very far. But on the whole, it's probably a nice game for him because it's, again, Moyes is always thinking about bedding new players into the team. So he had a relatively quiet night. He was quite commanding. You know, he come out for a couple of crosses, very vocal, all the things we want to hear from the goalkeeper. But he had a really easy night. But you know what? I'll give him a 7 because he still kept his clean sheet. He did what he had to do. He couldn't have done anything else.
Yeah, definitely. He could have sat there and twiddled his thumbs. Let's be honest with you, but you know, he did the job he had to do in the end. Let's see who's in the chat. Let's scroll up. NWO, I hope you're well. Howard, I hope you are well. Scroll down. Father Snowman, as hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Father Snowman, Areola, I gave a 7. Nothing to do, but was great. Yeah, he didn't have bags to do. Epic hash time. Areola 10. The geezer kept a clean sheet. Love it. Absolutely love it. Fantastic. Yeah, it's good. It's good because he's came in 2 clean sheets from 2 games, and he hasn't massively put a foot wrong yet. But you know, I think we'd all like to see him starting more games. Wouldn't you agree, Matt?
I think he'll get there. I think I think Moyes will bed him in over the season. You know, Fabianski is, even for goalkeeper's age now, getting on a bit. Might get one more year out of him if he's prepared to be a number 2. But I think you'll by the end of the season, he'll be number 1. So this is a good, easy game for him to sort of bed in and get used to the crowd, used to the stadium, used to his teammates more. It's just more match experience playing with team. So an easy but useful outing for him. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. Let's see some other comments. Areola gets a 7. Gary's in. Hope you are well, Gary. Right then. So that is the goalkeeper done. Sorry. Let's move on to our back line. And Aaron Creswell kept his place again.
I think he had a reasonable game, didn't he? I'll give him a 7. Still, he's. I don't know why. Like, we didn't play in front of the crowd for like 18 months. He became like a prime left-footed David Beckham, and like as soon as we get back in front of a crowd again, it's like a flip of a coin. He's literally like getting a coin out for each set piece and flicking it up, and it's like heads to give a good one, tails to give a bad one. Like his crossing is really inconsistent at the moment. Sometimes we put a really good ball in. Sometimes he's struggling to beat the first man. But defensively, he was solid. Nothing really got past him. Don't think he had to do. So I think a 7's a fair result. Like, defence didn't concede. You know, we've had 2 games in the Europa League, 2 clean sheets. He's played again. He'll have to do another shift on Sunday, and then he's got a rest for 2 weeks. So
yeah, he did. He did okay, and you know he's putting the shift in, playing week in, week out. That is for sure. Father Snowman Creswell gets another 7. Did nothing wrong. Creswell 7. I think everyone can just get a 7. It's sort of like that, Matt, isn't it? Almost as in it was quite a laboured performance, but you know it was professionally done, I suppose you could say.
Well, it was a 2-0, but it probably should have been about 5.
Oh yeah.
You know, we hit the post twice, missed an open goal. Yes, they had a spell in the second half when they were trying to push for it, but like we said, Fabianski didn't have to make Areola didn't have to make a save.
Yeah.
So the defence gets credit for that because they are the ones that stopped it. They got tested a little bit, and every time they were tested, they were found to play well. So if we'd have got the second goal 20, 30 minutes earlier, I think it would have been a lot higher. I think because we kept it 1-0 for so long, not taking our chances, it kept them sort of interested in the game. But it's 7's fair for Creswell. I think he done what he needed to do.
Probably my favourite part of the show now. If only Stel was in the chat now, because I know Matt's ratings for the next player. I'm happy with Matt's ratings. Stel hopefully will come in at some point and he can have his say. But big Craig Dawson.
So
he came back into the lineup.
Big Craigie Dawson come back in, and you know what Moyes has said, he's in the press, didn't he, that he's got a 22-man squad now and he wants to use them. But at the moment, all 4 centre backs are playing well. No matter what pairing we pick, no matter who's called in to play, everyone steps up to the plate. Now, yes, Dawson may not be a ball-playing centre half, but Dawson is like the new Ginge, isn't he? He's like the new James Collins. He'll come in, old school defender. He'll make the tackles, he'll clear the balls. Just don't expect him to do anything exciting apart from trying to win the headers in the other box. I'd given the guy a 9. I was genuinely really impressed with him yesterday. Like, I thought he was almost back to the form that earned him the start. Like, you know, when he came in at Christmas last year.
Against Southampton, yeah.
And then he came in as I think someone was injured or banned, and then from then on he was staying in the game for about 25 games straight. Yeah. He played really well, and I think he was back up to the levels yesterday. I think him and Diop have gained an understanding of how each other plays, to play for each other's strengths. But I would know headers, interceptions, sensible clearing the ball when it was needed, rather than risking passes that when he wasn't get the chance to. You know, there was a few times he was on the touchline, and you're thinking, under the new Moyes, we should be trying to probably play it, but Dawson was like, you know what, I can't see a safe pass, I'm just going to clear it. And I was like, you know what, I've got no problem with that. I thought we had a really, really good performance, probably like epitomised a lot of the team, how we've adapted under Moyes recently. You know, definitely. you come in, you may not have played, but you come in, you step up to the mark and prove that, you know what, no, I can still play in the team. So I thought we had a really, really good game.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Guys, keep your comments coming in. 50% of the fans saying he's getting 8. Let's have a little look at the polls. Yeah, so we're 50% saying 8, 30% saying 7, and 20% are agreeing with you, Matt, with a 9. 20%.
7? People say I'm harsh. 7? Oh.
So 10 votes were 10 votes were casted, so that means 2 people agree with you in the chat, Matt. Oh, he's big.
Was that you, Jake?
It wasn't me. Well, to be fair, there isn't a 10 option on there, so I couldn't vote. But oh, a 9 from Matt. It's a 9 from Matt. Should we see this? It's a 9 from Matt, and it's not. It's not the low, and it's not the highest either. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's not the highest. We're telling you, it's not the highest. Let's have a look at some of your comments then. 9.5 for Big Craig. I'll take that. 9 says Cyber Leader. Hope you are Cyber Leader. 9 is kind look at the opposition. Yeah, 8 old school performance. Yeah, it's up there in the A9 region, 8-9 region. Sorry, for Dawson, that is for sure. Let's move on to his partner, and that is Issa Diop. What have you given Diop then, Matt?
I've given him slightly less. I've given him an 8. But as I said,
Yeah.
I thought Dawson was slightly better than Diop. Having said that, I've equally been really impressed with Diop. I thought there was times last season when people, probably myself included, I can't remember, so I'm not going to say I didn't, questioned his ability. Like he seemed to have regressed from his first season when he came in, and Mourinho was bigging him up, saying, "Oh, who's this beast that West Ham have found? He looks like a real good prospect." And then he tailored off for a bit, but he'd done a lot of one-on-one training in the summer, and it looks like he's benefiting from it. He looks like he's got his confidence back. He had one shaky header at the start of the game, which, in fairness, was like an old school up and under. He went like 40, 50 foot in the air. They'd done a few of them. And running backwards, he lost the sight of it. They both missed it, ended up getting away with it. But after that, again, like I said, link up with Dawson. They were both dominant in the air. They weren't a big team, and they're chucking balls in. They were never really going to win them against Dawson and Diop. He used his pace to cover for Dawson. That's what I said. They sort of worked out between them what they can and can't do. Dawson going in tight, Diop sweeping behind. I thought he had a very solid game. I know people said they're going to look at the level of the opposition, but even there was probably a 25-minute spell in that second half when they were under a lot of pressure. And the fact that Areola didn't have anything to do, you'd give credit to the cover in front of him. So I think they both played really well.
Yeah, I thought that. Diop solid 7 for Diop. 50% of people give Diop a 7. So yet again, Matt is being optimistic. All of these people watching.
People say that I'm the tight one, Jake. I'm a half one.
You see it. Fantastic. See, Matt shows setting the scores. We're the standard bearers here on the West Ham Network, and Matt setting those high ratings. Yeah, make sure you do hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the West Ham Network if you are new. Coming on 8.67k. What is that? 10k boy Christmas, Matt? Do you reckon?
Yeah, we got to push for it.
Let's push for it. Hashtag road to 10k here on the West Ham Network. Right then, let's move. A rare start for Ben Johnson on his favoured side.
What did you make up? I've given him an 8. I was very impressed. Didn't see as much of him going forward as we probably wanted.
Yeah.
But then he did have Yarmolenko in front of him, who did track back at times, but he doesn't track back as much. And the other players, when they normally play, if it's Fornals or Bowen, if the fullback does commit, they will normally tuck in behind to cover him. And Yarmolenko won't do that. But in fairness, it's not like they didn't. They must have discussed it, because Johnson was quite happy to sit back, let Bowen go forward, and then cover the space behind him. But like you said, he hasn't had many run-outs at right back. He's mostly played at left back for us, considering he's supposed to be a right back. But I think he had a very, very good performance. It was a very, again, probably old school right back performance. He didn't offer much going forward, but he did what he had to do. He didn't get a chance. He didn't get much of a chance because Yarmolenko was on, and then when Yarmolenko did eventually come off, it was a bit later in the game. He was under the pressure. But I thought I was very impressed. I thought he had a very, very good game again. And he looks like we might actually have a decent prospect on our hands, because it's not often we had many of the kids come through recently. So he looks like, he has been around the first team for a couple of years now, so it sounds silly.
He hasn't
had many chances, but he always seems to take them when he turns up. So for him, again, it's just showing Moyes that, hey, look, I can play this position. And I think had he had more of a mobile winger in front of him, you may see more of his attacking output, which we saw in the friendlies at the start of the season. So, no, very good outing for Johnson.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought he was solid. He wasn't fantastic, I thought, but he was solid. Matt's got that Friday feeling. He certainly has. See, whenever he comes on the show, he's always a bit more happy because he can look straight into the camera and he can see his 2 football prizes awards behind him.
Well, saying that, there is one. Is it finishing today?
Is there? Well,
I believe if he's sitting in the background,
it would have finished by now, wouldn't it?
It's a signed. It might have finished by now. I believe the draw's in 10 minutes. It was like a signed Gerard Bowen montage plaque. So hopefully one of you lot won it because I didn't enter.
Yeah, it's finished. Yeah, it has finito. Yes, there will be a show later on at some point, so check out that.
The B show, the B team's on, Jake. The B team will be on later.
Yeah, the B team will be on later on. Yeah. Stell will be on later with somebody. 7.5 is crazy. Cole 7 played well all over. Anton says Johnson gets a 7. He covered so much ground. Yeah, he did a good point. In terms of the polls, 12 votes in, 50% of it is going with a 7. So yet again, Matt is going for the higher ratings. Look, it just keeps on rolling. Rolling. Hashtag just saying. Let's move on to Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble. What have you given him then, Matt?
I gave him a 7. I thought I was. We did kind of talk about it in the preview, and I did allude because I was like, I think it'd be Rice and Crowell. And I did contradict myself and say, you know what? I was like, it's our first game properly in the Europa League. I was like, it's Noble's last season. I was like, sentimental value. I was like, Moyes may start him. Yeah. So I was like, not surprised when I saw the starting lineup and he was in it. You know what you're going to get from Noble. It was interesting. Rice, in the post-match interview himself, said that he told Noble, like, I'm going forward. And Noble said he'd spoken to Rice and said, look, I'll sit back. You go do the running. No, and Noble did sit back. He sat back. He tried to dictate the play. We've done a lot of attacking in the first half. He made a lot of his clever passing that he can do from deep. And I was equally pleased and surprised that Moyes took him off when he did, because Noble realistically hasn't got the legs to do that sort of running. You know, when he played the Man United game for 90 minutes, he did look knackered after like 70 minutes. But him and Crowell were sort of doing the workload between them, where a lot of the 60 minutes he was on the pitch, 60-ish minutes he was on the pitch yesterday, he done a lot of the defensive work, and Rice was sort of the box-to-box player. And Noble probably wasn't used to doing that heavier workload anymore. But I thought, look, Noble is what Noble is. You know what you'd always get. Solid and reliable. He's always been that way, you know.
He has, yeah.
Legs aside, as he started to lose them, he started to get a bit smarter, but you know what you'd always get from him.
Yeah, you know what you're getting, that is for sure. Let's have a little look at the chat. I go scroll up. Matt would run out of wall space if he entered. Rate Noble 7, solid. Amateur hour later. Is that a bit harsh, Matt?
Oh, it is still, so who knows what's going to happen. Might end the stream midstream, you know.
On his phone. Let's have a little look here. I have him a 7 in the pool, but I wish Ace him an 8. He allowed Rice to go forward. 7 Noble legend. 6 didn't impose himself at all. Sir Mark Noble always gets a 9 from me. Who is on the West Ham Network account? Russ. It's anonymous. It could be anybody. Could be anybody. Take a guess. Who do you reckon it is? Or maybe it might be a secret person that you've never seen before. Who knows? Right then, so let's move on. Now, this is going to be a significant moment in the 2021/22 player ratings, matchday ratings, programs here on the West Ham Network. Let's just get on with it. Balotelli, Aguero, Matt, what have you given Declan Rice?
Oh, it's a 10. I've held on off it so far this season, but there's a point where you just can no longer not say the 10. Like, he's just, he's ridiculously so consistent. Like, I think we said the other week he had an off game, and that was like his first off game in about 3 years. And everyone's now again talking about him, and they're saying, well, now he's adding in the goals. And that's just, I mean, yes, it was a tap-in, but the run, he started it, he made that run, he saw the space, ran into the box. If he doesn't make that run, we don't score, because Antonio's got no one to square it to. Yeah. And like we said, he used to be that holding midfielder that just sat in front, and now he's developed into like an all-action box-to-box player. He's got the array of passing. He's now making the intelligent runs forward, still covering at the back when needed. There's not enough words to describe how good he is, and he just keeps we've said this about 3 years. He just keeps getting better. Like season on season, he just evolves and adds something else to his game. And if this season it's the goals, I mean, and I'll link this up because we'll talk about him later. But Souček, people have been saying about, Souček doesn't look as good this year. He's not getting the goals. Well, last year, for a lot of the season, Rice sat in front of the back four and let Souček go running. Whereas this season, it seems to be the other way around. So, yes, Souček's not getting the goals, but Rice is. So, it's swings and roundabouts. But not enough words to describe how impressive this guy is week in, week out, month in, month out. 22-year-old, normally the captain. Was when Noble came off, wasn't when obviously Noble was on the pitch. But what can you say about him?
Yeah, he just keeps on going, and I think most of us would probably or maybe surprised that he started over Crowell. But why not rest him? Or why should we rest him? Sorry, because he's
22. He's young.
Keeps on going. Wednesday, Sundays, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, he will play for West Ham whenever, because he's just that type of person. So yet again, people are refusing to be with Matt, with 53% voting for a 9. So yet again, Matt is on top. 40% voted for a 10, so it wasn't too far off. Let's take some of your comments. Rice 9, great standard, a very poor 10. Anton says, I have to agree he gets a 10. He was all over the place, getting chopped down, getting up and driving forward, breaking up play, scoring goals. That sums his performance up completely, I think, Matt, don't you?
Absolutely. Look, as I said, there's not like... Thing as well is he never complains. Like, even when he does get hacked down, like, he just gets up, gets on with it. He's a very mature head on still very young shoulders. I think people forget, because he's been in the West Ham first team for about 4 years, people forget that he's only 22. Like, think about that. He's had over 100 games for West Ham in the Premier League, I think. He's only 22. And he's still he's probably still about 4 years off what would be his prime. And he's already playing this well.
100%.
So...
Yeah.
What can you say about him?
I know it says 9, massive, 10 if he'd scored 2. Yeah, just bringing the goals into his performance as well. It's just, it's getting ever better. Right then, let's move on to our next player, and it is Nikola Vlasic. I don't know about you, Matt. Were you underwhelmed with Vlasic's performance once again?
So I know that I'm going to give him higher than what he's going to get probably been given. I'm sure about that. I've given him a 7. Now, I've given him a 7 because you can see the promise in his play. Like, you can see he's learning the way we play. He's adapting to it. He's got the technique and he reads the game well, and his ability on the ball, with the ball at his feet, his ability to carry the ball, is the attributes Moyes brought him in for. And you can see that he will slot in. Moyes said himself before the Leeds game, like, he expects Crowell and Vlasic to take 6 months to get up to the play.
Yep.
And if you think about, Bowen came in. Bowen took a month, 6 weeks to get going in the first team. And that was someone that had played in England. Benrahma took how many months last season? Half the season? to adapt to the Premier League way of playing, and he was playing in the Championship. You know, look at Fornals. For 18 months, maybe, Fornals was the scapegoat.
Yeah,
and now all of a sudden,
100%.
everyone loves him. So I might be slightly generous, but I can see what he's going to bring when he gets up to the speed of Moyes' way of playing, the fitness levels, and the mentality and the tactical ability. But he's had a quiet thing so far, but I think in some ways it's because the team's played so well, the pressure's been off him. It's like he's been able to go under the radar and just try and learn and adapt to the team. I think had we been struggling, there might have been a few more people that might have been going at him saying, oh, look, he's not performing. Just because of obviously when Lingard came in, he did hit the ground running. However, Lingard had played in the Premier League. But I still thought we had a good outing, quite at times. But I thought you can see the prospects and the potential's there.
Very, 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 very generous from you, Matt. I think tonight, you've got the Friday feeling. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. 7-6 underwhelming, off the pace at the moment. I agree. Comments have jumped 7. Anton says, I bet you he will be similar to Benrahma and take a little while longer to get used to the league. Yeah. Last night's performance really did remind me of Benrahma when he first came to the club. Gary says, I agree. Stato, I think Vlasic is going to do well for us going forward. Look at King Benny. Vlasic is lively, just needs time to settle. Evening Hall, Vlasic 7.1. Vlasic 6 still needs more time. Crazy Cole says, I feel Vlasic needs to work on spaces, read more of the game. Possibly, yeah. 56% of the chat have voted for a 7, so they've agreed with you. They've agreed with you, Matt. There we go. That's the fun. That might be the first of the show.
Yeah.
But let's move on. And who's next? Ooh, now this is going to get interesting. Andre Yarmolenko.
Right. So, remember the other week? When I was like, you know what, Benrahma was like, I'd give him a 6, but probably if it was anyone else to get 4, I am going to give him a 7. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've said for about 2 years, he cannot. For me, he's a finisher. For me, he's like Solskjaer was at Man United. He's a super sub. You bring him on for the last half an hour, and you'll get a good play out of him. Starting, he's probably got about an hour in him, and then he gets tired. But I thought, especially in the first half, he made some really intelligent runs and in passing, like him drifting in off that wing into the middle, picking up the gaps between the defenders and the midfield. Like, if you look at the pass, people probably forget it, but there was that brilliant diagonal sort of lofty through ball for Antonio for the goal. He drifts in off the wing, turns on the spot, got his sandwich out, lofted it over the fullback for Antonio to bring down square for Rice. And that's a quality that we know he has, but the injuries have stifled him. He cannot play 90 minutes. And for 55, 60 minutes, he had a really good performance. He was tracking back. Then his legs started to go. I think that's around the time that we gave away the penalty.
Yeah.
Well, the disallowed penalty, rightly disallowed. I saw the replay when I come out of the stadium. And it didn't, I don't know if it's just me that noticed it, but that was the time the ball went past him and he looked shattered and his head just dropped and he was like trying to get back, couldn't get back in time. The free kick, the penalty got given. Obviously, it was like 3 minutes for the penalty to be overturned. Yeah. And then he came off. I think Moyes then looked at him and was like, his legs have gone now. I'll bring him off. But for the first 55, 60 minutes, which you'll get out of him, it was a very good performance for Yarmolenko. I think the only thing I would say that he struggled with is that Ben Johnson isn't a lightning fast fullback. Johnson's like a good paced Premier League fullback, but he's not Fredericks. I think if Fredericks had played, that may have benefited him even more. Mm-hmm. Because then when he cut in, he probably would have fullbacks, Fredericks bombing past him. But I actually thought, in fairness to Yarmolenko, for 55, 60 minutes, he had a really good game yesterday.
Yeah, I think he did. He pleasantly surprised me and all, which I liked, which I really did like. I can't lie to you. Let's scroll up the chat. Yarmolenko's first half 8, 6. That build up okay for Rice's goal was worth a 7 alone. Yeah, I've got to incline to agree with NWO. Yarmolenko ran, defended, in good range of passing. 8, 6. Lazy player seems disinterested. At times, we've seen that, but I don't think we saw that yesterday, to be honest. Big on in January needs to run more. 6 on the high, and that's the highest mark I've given him in a long time. Best game for a while. 38% voted for a 7, so it's quite split this one. But most of you guys, or the majority, I should say, have gone for a 7. 30% have voted for a 6 and 30% voted for an 8. So it's quite tight with the polls. Splitting opinions is Andrei Yarmolenko. Yeah, so just about 7. Yeah. As always, Yarmolenko splitting opinions. But let's move past Yarmolenko and move on to the Algerian wizard, Said Benrahma. What have you given Benny Boy then?
I'll give him an 8. He was one of the ones that was making things happen. Yeah, I'll be honest, I was surprised he started. Because when we were doing the preview, he was one of the ones I definitely thought wouldn't start. Yeah, I had him down as one of the ones that was definitely going to be on the bench so that he could start on Sunday. Yeah, but boys had the faith in him, played him. He spent a lot of time, again, like we do, chopping and changing between the middle and the wing. I think back end of the second half, he got really more chucked out on the wing when we mucked about with the changes. But it was funny because at the end of the game, he looked like he was getting. He looked like right near the end of the game, like the last sort of 5-10 minutes, he was getting balls down in the corner flag, trying to take people on, and he kept just struggling and not quite making it. And I was thinking, he just seemed like he's lacking a bit of confidence there. He needs something to just give him a boost. And then, right on the 90th minute, he had that pop shot from 25 yards. Yeah, he tried to put it in the near post, and the keeper did put up a good save. I was like, oh, he's picked up a bit now. And then he went and scored the goal.
Well scored. Yeah.
And I was like, if he'd have scored that, it was just one of the games. If he'd have scored that half an hour earlier, you could be talking about a 10 for him right now because they might have just kicked him on for the rest of the game. But I think he's as always, he's one of our better attacking outlets. He's one of our more creative players. He's learned to drop in, find the space to pick up the ball. And you get the work rate out of him as well now. Moyes has drilled into him his defensive work rate as well. So I thought he had an all-round a very good game, to be fair.
Yeah,
and I think that's four goals from already now this season, all competitions. So you can see it's taken him a year, but now Moyes has really seen the best out of him.
Definitely, Benrahma, Benny 8. I think Benny has been golden this season. Definitely, 8.5, 8, 9 for Benny. Excellent finish, cool as a cucumber. Definitely a solid 8 for me. He keeps trying to create. He's also got back a lot on and that goal. He didn't have bucketfuls of power on it, but the way he just placed he couldn't have placed it any better.
The keeper made it easy for him because the keeper's positioning. I saw the goal back on TV. I was like, the keeper's positioning was awful. He was about 2 yards too close to the near post. So if you watch the goal, it's nowhere near. It hits the back corner of the net, but it's actually nowhere in the corner of the goal when it goes in because the keeper's giving him a lot of room. But it's made it easy for him, and Benrahma took his time, cooled himself down, and just passed it into the back of the net. Basically, it was well taken, but the keeping for it was awful. The positioning.
Yeah. Let's have a little look here. We have a tie, apparently. We have a tie. Let's have a little look here. 46% of people, 46% of people who voted for an 8 and 46 voted for a 9. Yeah, perfect there. That's going straight in the corner. It is going straight in the corner there. So Benrahma is getting an 8. Just joined. Did Yarmolenko get a 10? Without any compliment, he deserves to carry number 10. 7, one of his better games. 8, 9. 9 worked hard, got his reward. Wonderful goal. I completely agree. 8.5 had a good game. There we go. That is Said Benrahma done and dusted. And that means there is one player left, I do believe, of the starting lineup, and that is Mikel Antonio. What do you give a Mickey then?
I'll give him a 7. I think this is where this might cause controversy here, because you've given Antonio, Vlasic, and Yarmolenko all 7s. Well, I would say he done well for the assist for the goal. He brought it down well, and he actually looked up and played the pass across. Again, though, I don't think he really got much service. I think they were very, very deep.
Mm-hmm.
So he spent a lot of time chasing balls down the wing, which he's done very well at. He actually was timing his offside runs very well to pull off between the centre back and the fullback to give him space down the wing to stretch the play. And it might seem harsh. I've just given him 7 because he didn't really get I'm not saying he had a bad game, but he didn't really have much of a chance to do anything in the game. I suppose in fairness, the one thing he did have a chance to do, he done, which was when he squared it for Rice. But apart from that, I don't really remember him getting a chance inside the box.
Yeah, I think this might be a bit off. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Right, we're mostly going for 8s in the chat. You're having a laugh, Matt. At least an 8, says Neil. Antonio 8. I think he's simply a nuisance. He played 60 minutes, got an assist. 8 work rate and assist. Everyone's saying hello to each other. 8 got the assist and 60-minute run out. Lawrence, I hope you from Alabama, hope you are well. Rapid, Antonio played well, 8. So most people, let's see what the polls are saying. I'm going to vote personally for an 8, which leaves 76% of the vote currently on an 8. So the people in the chat are thinking that Matt's, for the first time in this show, I think, been a little bit harsh.
Well, 1 out of 11 is not bad.
So yeah, it's not bad, is it? 76% with an 8. So Antonio 9, like his jersey, says Mark. There we go. Right then, so that is all of the starting 11 done. Have we got some subs? Let's have a look. Yes, we certainly do. Who should we start with? Take your pick, Matt.
I think I've got them sort of written in order they come on. So I got Souček.
Yeah, I think that's Souček. Oh no, that's 4 now. It's brilliant start. There's Souček. Hey, brilliant.
I think I gave him a 6.
Yeah, so quick fire through these. So Souček 6.
He still looks a bit tired. It took him a while to get up to the speed of the game, but he done what he had to do when he come on. Nothing spectacular, nothing special. Just try and shore up the defence a bit more.
Yeah.
Lanzini.
I
gave a 6. I don't think he had a particularly impactful appearance. He sort of got chucked out on the left wing for a while, which he hasn't got the pace to do anymore. And he's more effective. He's better as a player when we are attacking, like we've got the ball. And he came on in a spell when we were really up against it defending. So I thought he kind of struggled with that, but I'll give him a 6. Bowen.
Just to stop you there, because there's some funny comments there. Get rid of Matt, we want Stell. Oh no, but that's the B team. This is
Stell. I think my ratings are harsh.
Yeah. I think you're misinterpreting the West Ham network here, because I think we've got Anton and you've got Matt as the A team, and then you've got Stell. Who else is on the B team, Matt?
Unfortunately, everyone that's left with Stell. Stell just drags everyone else down.
What about Russ? Where's Russ? A team, surely.
Oh, Russ on the A team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
So
when you get paired with Stell, you get dragged down to the B team.
Here we go. Antonio's goal contributions in his last 37 games, 23 goals, 10 assists. That's all you need to go. So in terms of Souček, 6, 7 good positioning and a couple of good tackles. 6, Souček 8, NWO just going for a clean sweep. 7 for the substitutions. Souček 7. In terms of Lanzini, 6, nothing special, says Anil. Right, where did we get up to?
Right, so next is Bowen.
Far away.
Giving him a 7.
Yeah.
Would have got an 8, but he missed an open goal.
That's the only thing.
And you know what? I watched a bit of Stell's and Ant's match, the review of the game earlier.
Yeah.
And I can't remember which one of them said it, but they made a good point that he went the wrong way round the goalkeeper. Like
Yeah.
when he got 1-on-1, he should have gone left, and he
I
went
think
right
that's the
back across
only
the
thing.
goalkeeper and the defender. And after he went round him, he then never looked up. It's like he was off balance, and he was too busy concentrating on looking at the ball. And then, of course, lo and behold, because he went that side and then was on his his weaker foot, off balance, he just blazed it over. But he came on, he done well, ran the channels, harried the defence, done what he could as an Antonio replacement. He's not got the physicality, but he still competed and won some of the headers. So, an impactful sub. I give him a 7. I say he would have got an 8, but he missed an open goal.
I think I've been probably Bowen's biggest fan so far this season. He got an assist, but he missed an open goal. That's the only thing I think personally that he's done wrong so far this season was miss that goal. I think he's been near perfect. Right, here we go. James is doing a stellar. I missed the beginning of the show, but I trust Stato showed consistency and gave Areola a 5 for doing nothing. No, he gave him I've got it right down there. So it's 7.
I gave him a
7. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we agreed, didn't we, that like a nothing rating now is like a 6 anyway.
Yeah.
We said, didn't we say? We said the rating when they come on the pitch is a 6. So you have to be poor to get below a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Last rating players is Pablo.
It is Pablo
Fornicator.
Fornals. The Fornicator. It is.
I give him an 8.
Uh-huh.
I thought of the subs, he had the most impact when he came on. He
Yeah.
looked lively. He helped shore up defensively with his energy levels and his willing runs. But he also then was good on the counter-attack, which we needed at the time. I thought he was a very intelligent sub, and he was probably one of the ones we really needed at the time. He was one that come on for Yarmolenko as Yarmolenko was starting to tire. And it gave us a really nice set of fresh legs to try to get us over the finish line.
Let's see what you guys are saying about Fornals. 8. I love Fornals. We certainly do. 8, 8.5. Slaven Pilic's beanie. 8 is generous. 9 Fornals is a superstar. Full stop. Let's go and you know what? Let's go and have a look at what you're saying about Bowen. Bowen 7 worked hard but should have scored. 8.5 missed the sitter. 7.2. But the miss, it could be an 8. Energy is awesome. 7.5 missed the sitter. 6. A range of different of scores there. That's for sure. Right then, David Moyes, Matt. Here he is in all his glory. Should we bring him up?
Bring him up.
There he is. The big man, David
The
Moyes.
Moyes
What are you
IR.
giving him?
Again, I think he's done this more than once already this season. He's getting the 10 again. He's getting the 10.
Oh my God. Ready? We haven't had a 10 so far on the Match Day Rating Show programme this year on the West Ham Network. And we've got 2 in a show. Hey! Why have you given him a 10, Matt?
He changed. Look, he wrote. Let's think. If I've still got the team in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He made 7 changes.
Yeah.
Didn't look like he made 7 changes. Everyone still played exactly the same. The team worked. The team played well. He was able to freshen it up. Made subs at the right times, and he made the right subs at the right times. Tactics were spot on. He handled. Because I think Rice alluded to it after the game that they knew that there was a lot of pressure on this game because of everything around it. You know, the first game in the European tournament, under the lights, on TV, and they got the whole thing with the statue as well. So they knew a lot about that. I think Moyes handled the situation very well. And then the pre-match, in the post-match, they were trying to sort of, interviewers trying to get at him about the whole situation, kicking off for the fans. I thought we handled that very well as well. There was in the whole game from before, pre-match, match, post-match, subs, tactics. I couldn't find a fault in him for the game. I couldn't find a fault in him anywhere. So perfect 10 for Moyes again, and he deserves it.
10.
In fairness, I mean, Stel and Ant spoke about it earlier that since the start of last season, we've won 29 games in the league. You know, we've won more games than we've lost and drawn combined. You know, and that is there's nothing. There's not enough words at the moment this was, and don't forget, this was like last chance saloon for him when he came in the first time. Done well, got let go, bided his time. 18 months later, come back, and look at that team today. What? There's not enough to say about him.
I apologise, NWO. It was nothing to do with Matt's insightful Moyes speech there. It's been a long week. Let's just say that. Moyes 10, Anil 10. Glad he brought on the big boys when he did, and now has confidence in the bench. Definitely Moyes 8.8. Moyes gets a 7. Easy night. Moyes getting to understand the game better. Gave 10 for subs right time. Wow, 2-0, didn't concede. Good serves, using squad, changing mentality. 10 from me. Moyes and coaching staff 10. Aidan, who's a channel member of the West Ham Network, thank you very much for that, is using our exclusive emojis. When you come on the Matchday Rating Show, if you're a member, just click those 2 emojis. It's fun. It's cool. 68%. 68% of you lot gave Moyes Moyes 8-10.
Just to add on the back of Moyes, we're still the only British team in the Europa League to win a game this season.
Are we?
None of the others have won a game yet.
Here we go then. So, scrolling along the bottom of your screen, since the start of last season, we have played 53 competitive games, won 29, drew 10, lost 14, scored 91, conceded 61, 18 clean sheets. It's a good record. It's good and not bad for little old West Ham. We would have whacked
not bad
your.
For a manager that a lot of people didn't want, myself included.
There
and
we
he's
go.
proven everyone
and myself as well. As it says on the little ticker bar below. Let me just wait for it to come around. Like, share, subscribe. West Ham Network. Here we go. It's coming around. Join the chat. Leave comments. This is fantastic. Become a member. There we go. As Matt is crunching up all his paper to chuck in the bin. That's the Matchday Rating Show done. Apart from the fans. Fantastic. 10. You could hear them, the bubbles, the firework, iron sign. It was fantastic, man.
I'll be honest, I'm not one for the glam, but I actually really like the fireworks show. I actually like the light show.
The one thing about it was
the flamed hammers come up. Like, I was actually
it's brilliant.
It was,
the one thing about it was, they came back from the break on BT Sport and Carlton Cole was like, oh, how brilliant was this? And then we didn't have a clue what was going on until she said, yeah, during the break there was a light show here at the London Stadium, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So Carlton Cole...
Have you seen the videos on Twitter of it? It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I've seen it, definitely. Yeah. There we go. That is another rating show done here on the West Ham Network. There's only 2 people left to rate. And that is me and Matt. Get you them in the chat. What ratings are you going to give us? We are massive indeed. Dave is in. Careful now, Slaven. So we've got David Moyes and Slaven Bilic in. In Moyes we trust. That's cheating, Anton. Rate the fans. Fans always a 10. Rate Jam. What are we going for tonight? 10. Thank you very much. Nice show, boys. 9.5 for throwing balls. I should read these comments.
I actually want to, I think we should get a better rating because if when you go to the stadium, you go through that checkpoint, you can't get anything through that checkpoint, right?
How on earth did they get a 3-litre bottle through there? How on earth did they do that?
That's one of the massive water bottles you put in like an office dispenser when you've got the little nozzle, you just fill up your little plastic cup of water. And someone's throwing one of them about.
I reckon what they've done is the Rapid Vienna fans have climbed up and they've cut the netting and then they've lobbed it over. Somebody's caught it and then they've put it under their coat to look like they're really bulky and then just lobbed it over.
You can't. That's what I mean. You can't even get like a 500ml bottle out of your bag in the stadium, but they got a frigging 5-litre water dispenser bottle and they're lobbing that about. How did they even get that in?
I don't even know. This is harsh. Matt gets a 5 for making JQ. It was not Matt by any stretch of the imagination. I feel bad now. It wasn't to do with Matt at all. It was just there, and I couldn't hide it. I thought I was polite. I went like that. I didn't just show it all off on the show. Jacob Matt 10, of course. Jacob Matt 9.9. Nobody's perfect. There we go. That's the player ratings. Oh, match day. Oh, I keep getting this wrong. Anton's going to tell me off. Match day ratings show on the West Ham network. Anton won't tell me off. Don't panic. Don't panic. The match day rating show: West Ham 2, Rapid Vienna 0. We will be back. Content all throughout the days. Late show live at 11:30 when most normal people are in bed sleeping.
I wouldn't call that a definite time.
No,
we are talking Stell time. So
Stell's doing it. Yeah. Stell time. You might see some guests on there. You never know. I'll tell you one thing for nothing, it certainly won't be me because I will be snoring at 11:30 tonight, that is for sure. Happy Hammer 82. Hey everyone, hope you're all good. Did I miss much? Only 38. Only 50 minutes. Matt 8, Jake 2 for not knowing the song Vienna. I don't know what the song Vienna. I don't know. 14. Please lay off.
Yeah, to be fair.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. Matt, come on your irons, and we will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.